What have I done? What have I become? I can't describe this. This is my mid-mic crisis.
Hello and welcome to the Mid-Mic Crisis. I am Bunchu alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host Chamber. Chamber, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. It's Wednesday, hump day.
That is the day we do the show.
If it wasn't the same day every week, I would have zero grasp on reality, I think.
This grounds me. It's the day that we do show stuff. Yes.
Yeah. But I know how things on your end.
Oh, wonderful. So so today is Wednesday. We are here. Every time we do this intro now, I feel like I want to say the mint condition. I get it. You know, it's a thing that I am. This intro, I guess, started with the mid condition, so I always have struggle with that. But I like that. I'm digging the new arc we're on this show, Chamber.
It's wild times right now.
You and I had like an hour and a half show meeting the other day where we were just talking about content and all of this stuff we're gonna be trying to put out. And I mean,
you've made me so sharp. You've made me so sharp in the last few weeks that I think I picked out an AI generated TikToker, or at least a TikToker that's making AI generated content that's getting hundreds of thousands of likes. And I feel like, and I checked the comments and nobody's called it out. I feel like,
your example you showed me, I'm not sure the person was AI. Is that what you were asking? Because I'm not totally sure on that.
I think you sent me a version where you did something similar, where it was, 5
like the
seconds.
HeyGen avatar.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think and it just really reminded me of that, where it's, I don't know exactly how that works. I'm assuming you take pictures of yourself and then you can kind of create like a little 3 to 5 second clip. Then you add the 11 Labs voice over the top, I'm assuming, and you got yourself.
It's actually pretty cool how it works. So if you do it in HeyGen, right?
Yeah.
You've got you literally create your avatar, and the avatar. Yeah, Mackie gets it. We have show meetings now. So the avatar.
We've had two.
Yeah,
lately.
You literally record yourself speaking just like this to the camera, whatever. You do your hand motions, whatever. So like, Trump's HeyGen avatar does a lot of this and this.
They're eating cats and dogs.
People are eating cats. And you do that for about 2 minutes and that's it. You've got your custom avatar and you use that one for every single thing. And then what happens is, so say for us, you can either give it a script and it'll do like an automatic voice, clone right away.
Right.
Or because it's got your voice stored, right? Because you have talked to create the thing. But it's not as good as the 11 Labs one. So the other thing you can do is, instead of kind of adding a script, you can upload audio and it rips the transcript directly from the audio that you're using.
And we'll make.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice. So this guy, the guy I found, I'm like, well, he's got like 15 million followers on TikTok.
Well, the one I showed you last week, that Varun Maya guy.
Yes.
He does the same thing. So he's got incredible, they're great videos, but him in the videos is a HeyGen avatar. And it's like, short clip of him introing the video, faceless video stuff about his topic,
right?
A clip back to him really quickly, And when you put the video together that way, you can't tell,
Very
right?
seamless,
If
yeah.
you did a whole 1 minute video of your HeyGen avatar, you'd be able to tell pretty quickly that it isn't,
Right. Yeah.
100% human. But when you're doing it in these 2 to 5 second little bursts with stuff in between, much more difficult to tell. So we're going to be making your HeyGen avatar soon. Is that what I'm getting at here?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you should be the face for the TikTok stuff. So similar to that, like where we make like news reels, and it's kind of similar to what I sent you. I think you should be the face for that.
I've got a couple
Not a trusted
automated video workflows that I've been working on for a long time that are hopefully almost done, that will be able to do that for us, which is nice. So but the problem is HeyGen doesn't have an API that is available to the general public. So it makes creating the full video harder. But what you could do is just take like the intro clip, create that video, drop it back into the rest of it.
Right.
And you're good to go. But anyway, all right. Before we get into our main topic today, what is
our main topic today?
Our main topic today is Replit and the Replit Agent. Have you heard about this?
No, it honestly sounds like something straight out of the Matrix. Like
well,
like you just said it. I'm like, oh,
wait till you see it. It kind of is. So before we get to that, we're going to go into one of our segments at the top of the show today, because I've got stories. They're probably cold opening stories, but they also fall into one of our segments. So we'll be heading straight to Dad Talk.
Dad Talk! Dad Talk! It's time for some Dad Talk!
All right. So last week's show was all Dad Talk, right? That was last week already.
Yeah,
last week's show was all Dad Talk. Today we're starting with some Dad Talk. So today was my son, who's 3.5, his first day of preschool orientation. So we had to go to orientation this morning at 10:30 this morning. And he was so excited. He's been looking forward to this for weeks and weeks and weeks. And this morning we're getting ready to go. I don't know. It's like,
now what time are we talking about here?
Well, orientation was at 10:30. It's about 20 minutes away. So the idea was to leave by 10 o'clock. It was actually 10:45. And so it's 8:30. We're getting ready for the day and to go. And I was going to come down here and work for an hour before we left, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm in my room. I'm, getting changed. The kids are being kids. And I shout out to our friend Captain Zwingli. I was about to put on my brand new board shorts t-shirt that I got in the mail today. So if you haven't checked out board shorts, definitely give that a check out. Very
they are
high
pretty
quality
sick.
clothing.
As somebody that likes a good pair of shorts and a good t-shirt.
So I was gonna wear that. I was gonna wear that very nice embroidered shirt today, and it's bright white. So and the first time I'm wearing it, and so I'm like, all right, kids, we had pancakes for breakfast. I'm like, get your grubby little hands away from my shirt. Like, don't touch me. Don't whatever.
Yeah.
And
totally.
my kid is being a kid. And he's not listening, and he's trying to purposely touch my shirt. And I'm like, dude, no, like stop, blah, blah, blah. And then he becomes like, he's running towards me, trying to touch the shirt, and then running away, running towards me, running away, running towards me, running away. And I'm like, dude, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. And the very last time I'm starting to lose my patience, he turns around. He trips over something on the floor and does a full gainer into the wall. And he hits his chin on the corner of the molding on the floor and splits it totally open. And now we are in this definitely needs stitches situation.
That t-shirt, I can only think of the t-shirt at this point.
I didn't even have it on because I literally, the first thing I did when he fell, because I knew what was happening, I was
Pop
like,
that thing right
I
off.
took the t-shirt off. And we are now in a full on this needs stitches mode. And so we had to and you know, he's crying obviously because he was
Oh
hurt.
yeah, no
And
shit. Poor
then
guy.
he starts to see the chin blood, which
Shin blood is real blood. Like that's a lot of blood.
chin
Anything in the
blood's real
head.
blood. Yeah. And so, you know, then he's freaking out. But his first reaction was, what about school? And I was so sad for him because he was
That is
so
the
excited.
saddest.
So we rushed to the urgent care. He was a total trooper. They, you know, fixed him up real nice and good. And we made it to school on time.
Really?
We were
On
literally
time.
what on
On
time? We were
time.
2 minutes late to the orientation. So this was a Dr. Nick quick job.
Did you go to did you go to a drug dealing veterinarian?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is in Canada. I didn't have to wait until next August to get
Yeah,
a
but I
stitch,
mean, I don't know about next August. I wouldn't have been on time.
Yeah, we were.
You
I
know.
couldn't believe we were on time. So we got it all done. It's been a long day around the house here. So,
So I
but he
mean,
was
okay,
good and
I gotta ask a
brave and
question though. I gotta ask a
yeah,
follow-up question.
yeah.
You know, you poke fun at Canada. Maybe I would say if that happened here at that time, it's bleeding. So you get put in priority list, right? So depending on
Right.
how,
So like May instead.
listen, I would say best case scenario, 2 hours, worst case scenario, 6 hours total.
Mm.
So I feel
Well,
like that's
I
my
think the
follow-up though
difference.
is what ballpark, what's the ballpark cost of an accident like this? With somebody with I'm assuming you have insurance.
So here's the funny part. I don't because
Yeah.
I am between jobs and didn't want to pay $2,500 a month while I have no income to support my whole family's
So
insurance.
this is an out-of-pocket job.
Yeah, but the other thing was we went to urgent care instead of the ER.
Is that better?
Well,
Like pocketbook-wise?
I think it's the reason why it was quicker because it's
Okay.
not, you don't have, you know, an entire ER full of people, right?
Yes.
So so that's why it was so fast. We were literally like the only people there. I thought it was going to cost me an arm and a leg. It did not. It cost me like $100, which wasn't bad. So
that's about it all.
yeah, no, it wasn't bad. But
well, I feel good. I thought you were gonna throw a silly number at me, so I was a little worried.
No, I was worried about that too. I almost just stitched it up myself, you know.
We got a lot of comments on my
yeah, totally.
on my
first comment though, Mackie's watching us all on his XTV app. Have you tried this out yet?
I have not. I'm just excited we're on TV.
Yeah, we are finally. You finally made it, Chamber.
I'm a movie. I'm basically a movie star at this point. Yes.
Yeah, you definitely are. ZG says Chamber getting the full American experience. Our good friend Bill here says the Canadian mind cannot comprehend U.S. healthcare. And then Payne, producer Payne, X-ray at urgent care was $40. Had a follow up for $500. That's called the upsell. Hey, we're not quite sure if it's broken. Come back in. You still can't walk on it. Yeah.
So urgent care. I mean, not to get too into the weeds on this, but urgent care must be there must be some sort of like government subsidy there that's causing the price to be. You know what I mean?
I don't really know.
It's definitely not out of the goodness of their heart. You know what I mean? That it's cheaper.
No, but like we didn't need. It wasn't a lot of work to be done. It was basically just to close it up and make sure it stays closed. You know, it wasn't a lot of stitches. It wasn't a lot very deep. It wasn't.
It's funny you say this though, because not a couple of weeks ago, we actually went, I took my family across the border into the wilds of America.
You texted me.
I know, yeah.
A big event. Yeah. You texted me from a bunch of very famous US landmarks like Target and Dunkin Donuts.
Yeah, and an Olive Garden.
And an Olive, sorry, that's what it was, an Olive Garden. You
Well,
texted me a picture of an Olive Garden and a picture of the Target.
and the Dunkin'. No, you got them all.
Oh, and
It was
Dunkin', yes.
it was the trifecta. So yeah, my youngest daughter wanted to go to the United. She had never been there, and going into the first grade, she wanted to have something for like show and tell. Not that we didn't do a billion fun things over the summer that she could have said, but she wanted going to the United States to be like the thing that she talks about at the first day of class. So, but when I went over, I'm like, shit, like if anything happens, like I had to double check. I got like weekend insurance.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it was like a 3-day thing.
Is that like rental car insurance?
It was like
you get collision, liability. And
yeah, it was like $45. It was, I'm like, all right, let's just get that. And then if anything happens, we're good. But yeah, I went to Dunkin' Donuts as soon as we got there, because that's where my kids wanted to go. And then we went to Target and then did a little shopping, went to there was like a mall there and stuff. And we had dinner. We ended the day going to dinner at Olive Garden. And it was the American holy trinity of retail consumerism. But my big takeaway, and this is for Canadians, this part here, because my experience at Dunkin' Donuts was fantastic. I cannot stress this enough. Wow. Fellow Canadians will know that over the course of
most Dunkins are not great experiences.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Tim Hortons nosedived over the last 10, 15 years. Okay.
Wow.
It used to be the best, a great experience, but it is an absolute garbage experience now. You guys stick to what you know. Dunkin' Donuts. It was a good variety of donuts, good variety of breakfast sandwich options, a few light lunch options, and tremendous amount of caffeinated drinks. That's what I'm looking for. Good job. And if you go to a Tim Hortons these days, they're serving you pizza, and it's I don't even know what's happening anymore. The donuts are garbage. There's no donuts there anytime you go. I mean, it's
I don't know if you know this, but Dunkin' has recently done away with the donuts in their official name. They are now just
I saw that.
Dunkin'. Yeah.
Just Dunkin', which
that means pizza is coming.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. So I would say this to Dunkin' Donuts corporate, if you're listening or watching, take another shot at coming to Canada. I feel like you'll do well. Just stick to what you know.
America runs on it. I'm not sure what Canada does.
We're ready. We're ready for it.
You're ready for it? You
Canada,
ready to run on it? Yeah.
Canada, ready to run.
Mid-mic crisis brought to you by Dunkin'. Dunkin'. Northern garbage.
Yeah. So I was
ZG. What do you have down there in Texas, man?
Is that where he's from? I wasn't sure if ZG was Australian or not, to be perfectly honest.
No, but you're not too far off. He's very good buddies with our friend Ebbs, who is Australian, who has been on the show back in our Zed Run covering days. And I believe that Ebbs was in Australia at one point. Maybe I'm not. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. But all right, that does it for Dad Talk. I had to tell the Stitches story because it was and really it all started with the goddamn shirt. If I didn't want to keep this shirt nice and clean, I wouldn't have, made a big deal over them getting their syrupy hands over it, which would not have caused him to be taunting me and running around like a crazy person, which would not have caused him not to listen to me, which wouldn't have caused him tripping over whatever the heck he tripped over and smashing his face. So this episode also brought to you by board shorts. Board shorts. Shirts are white.
Hope you don't have kids.
Board shorts. Get your kid hands off of them.
That's good. That's good. Cap, you can use this for free.
We'll clip this one. You can put it right on your Twitter. I mean, I do got to say, there's a reason I didn't want their grubby hands all over the shirt.
Look at the high quality,
extremely high quality, and the shorts too. So I'll be strutting those shorts this weekend. Actually, going on a little family staycation that has a pool, and you better bet your bottom dollar or bottom banana that I'll be wearing the board shorts out this
Oh my
weekend.
goodness,
So
ladies,
yeah, I mean,
buckle up.
seriously,
Watch out.
seriously. I got the ones with all the bananas on them too. So
Oh my goodness.
anyway, all right, shall we get to the main event here today?
Let's do it.
We've been talking a lot of AI on the show lately, and I feel like we are progressing along this adoption line of like, you know, first introducing you to ChatGPT Chamber, and now it becoming kind of more a big part of your life. And I would say we are kind of getting there with creation as well of like, you know, websites, and we did WebSim and we had the whole thing there, and they feel like you know, magic a little bit, right? Where
They do.
People who don't know how to code can code. People who are expert coders are 10x more productive and faster. And all the rage the past week or two has been this thing called Cursor. Had you seen Cursor?
I know of it. I feel like everybody was talking about it for
so
maybe
Cursor
last week.
Cursor's this IDE, which is like independent development environment, right? And it's basically a place where it's a coding environment. And what's special about Cursor is they've built it to be, you know, AI integrated, and so it can do a lot of coding for you. It's connected to a bunch of these models, and what's very cool about Cursor is you can give it context of your files. So, you know, when you code something, you have all these files and components and all this stuff, and it's hard to keep context if you're using AI on certain things. But this allows you to actually give it or let it look over all your files and suggest changes. So it has context if you run into errors or all of these things, right? Pretty cool. You can build a lot of stuff really quickly with it. It's how I built like the Google Chrome extensions that I've been using for Twitter and things like that.
Right.
And it's really a cool experience. And then Replit, who has been around for a while, and Replit's like mission statement is like, I think their mission statement is like they're going to write all the code in the world someday. So their idea here and values are like, yeah, we're going to create this thing that is going to make all the code in the world when people on demand, right? So they've been around for a while. I'd been using Replit back when I started these projects, like, you know, 18 months ago, when like Microsoft Copilot and things came out. Really cool experience. They were one of the first to have this kind of AI integration, and they hadn't really done a ton with it or that are like super advanced things until recently. So last week they launched something called Replit Agent. Have you seen this? Do you know what it is? Do you have any
I really
idea
don't. You told me this would be a good topic for this week. And then I basically just looking for images. So I tried to do the least amount of research on it. So that gave you the ability to explain it to me, and therefore explain it to the listeners or the viewers in the same fashion.
Okay.
So I purposely tried not to look into it as much as possible.
Yeah. Purposely,
for the good of the show.
Yeah, for the good of the show. Yeah.
Normally I'm very thorough.
Joke's on you. I did the same thing, so I'm swinging it. The Replit Agent is essentially this AI-powered tool. It's designed to assist people in building software projects, and essentially, it kind of builds the whole thing for you. So this concept of agents we've talked about quite a bit now, right? And so what is your understanding of what an AI agent is, or what it should be?
So, okay, the way in my head, when you say agents, when I hear agents and when I hear GPTs, I think of the same thing. Am I wrong?
Well, they're kind of probably at the same level at the moment, right? So and this kind of goes to the concept of like, what's the limitation of these current models that we have in terms of what they can do, right? So I would say building a custom GPT that does a specific task is agentic in the nature of
Right.
okay, it's programmed to do one thing for you, right? But
Right.
it's really just what you're describing is like a fine-tuned version of an LLM that can do the thing you want it to do based on a prompt that you give it, right? So
I see what you're saying.
the difference between that and an agent, right, is not to use the same word, agency, right? So an agent is going to go out and do things for you, take action for you. So it won't
Unprompted?
be well, no. The idea would be, so say you're working with your custom GPT
Okay.
and you're like, hey, I want recipes for gabagool salad. And you've trained this GPT on giving you recipes for gabagool salad. And all it's going to do is return you something that you've prompted it. Whereas an agent, you might say, and this kind of goes to this idea of like the Project Strawberry we've been talking about in the last couple of shows, things like that. An agent, you might say, I'm booking a trip to, or I'm planning a trip to Italy. Find my hotel, book it, book my plane ticket, and find me the best gabagool salad in the country. And it's going to go do all of those things for you. And what you would come back with is a booked ticket and a hotel reservation, etc. Do you see what I'm saying?
And a
What the difference
GPT,
is?
you couldn't build a GPT to do that?
No, it can't
Okay.
take the action for you.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do you see
Perfect.
the difference?
Totally
What I'm
got that.
saying?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
got
totally.
it. So same thing with like Cursor and this Replit agent. Cursor is kind of agentic in the nature that it's doing things, it's building files for you, but it's not actually like putting it out to production or installing dependencies or things like that. You kind of have to still do most of that stuff.
I see what you're saying.
Now, enter Replit agent, and this is kind of, I would say, the first real autonomous thing that I've seen, like comprehensive autonomous thing that I've seen. It's pretty cool. So I'll show you what it is in a second here. But the capabilities of it, essentially, what it can do is understand natural language prompts to create applications from scratch, right? So blank page to an application. It can automate various aspects of that development, including the code writing, setting up the environments, handling deployment, all of that stuff. It can create, functional apps in literal minutes with like, we'll see some examples, people talking about being able to do some stuff in like 2 to 5 minutes, which is crazy. Develop multi-platform apps, including web, mobile games, all that kind of stuff, and provide real-time code assistance, suggesting and correcting errors. Most of the opinions, I think, out there and perception has been positive, because a lot of people are really kind of able to go from 0 to 1 on a lot of stuff really quickly. It's kind of being seen as this first real example of this whole agentic paradigm shift. And it's still early. So the negative sentiments about it are it's sometimes buggy. It sometimes just kind of crashes and you need to start over. I've used it quite a bit and I've had some struggles with it in terms of like it tries to finish the job and then stalls and can't. But other tools that it's compared to, if you've used some of these before, are like Devin. Do you remember talking about Devin? Yep. That was like the open source coding agent, Genie, and then Cursor, which we talked about. But so this was just launched like literally last week, and I'll share some examples via Twitter or X that we can look at here.
Is this going to be examples of agentic paradigm shifts?
Yes. That's
Okay.
literally all it is agentic paradigm shifts. All right. So this comes from this tweet comes here from Min Choi. So thanks, Min.
This guy
for
puts
putting
out,
this together.
for the record, Min Choi puts out the best AI.
Yeah. You ever
stuff.
need the top 10 mind-blowing things of the week, just
Yeah.
go to a Min Choi thread, right? So here you go. Replit Agent just dropped. It's about to completely change the development game from idea to deploy. So here's 10 examples of what people are building. So this person here, a mobile game made on mobile. So crazy thing here too is
They made a mobile game on a mobile device.
Yes, so that was what I was going to say. Is Replit
Unbelievable.
has a mobile app, and you can actually use this agent right from your mobile app. So you can literally come in here and I guess this was his prompt: side scroller game. I can play on my iPhone. It's like Flappy Bird, but also like Frogger, and it built him this. This McKay Wrigley built I watched this video. It's pretty cool. He built a Stripe coupon generator for his website in 5 minutes from his phone. Very interesting use case. I thought this one was cool. If you don't know who Ethan Mollick is, definitely worth a follow if you're into the AI stuff. One of the, I would say, kind of prolific people to follow in terms of like what's the latest research and things like that. So he is not a coder, and he says without any Python ability, he signed up for Replit and used their AI coder, was able to build a working app that identifies sentiment at the paragraph level in 23 minutes. So remember, he's looking at a lot of research papers and opinion pieces and peer review stuff, all kinds of things like that. And now he built this app in 23 minutes. He interacted with it 8 times, and it'll analyze the sentiment of these papers in down to like the paragraph, which is crazy. Yeah, hackathon submission in 4 minutes. That's kind of cool. What does this guy build? Full and doesn't really what he says. What he doesn't describe what he does. 3D platformer, which is interesting. Did you see his face here? He was very shocked. Watch his face. Okay. That was awesome.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
He built a 3D platforming game using Replit Agent. He's never written a line of code in his life. So like many such stories, right? Of never written a line of code to, all of these examples here. So solved the front end interview project in 6 minutes, integrated with Stripe, etc. Ad spend calculator, all kinds of things like that. So these are kind of the capabilities of what it can do and some examples. Should we try it out? Should we try to build something?
Absolutely. Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
So I have a Replit account because I wanted to do this. So here's what it looks like when you come in. You're kind of being greeted by the founder here, and he has this video here describing what the Replit agent does. But essentially what it does here is you put your prompt in. You can either you can attach files, you can speak to it and tell your prompt that way. It's going to craft a plan for you. So it kind of goes out, it takes your prompt in, and it builds an entire development plan for you, and even actually suggests additional features that you might not have even thought of. You'll see it in a second. And then it asks you to kind of approve that plan. Once you approve the plan, it goes out and just starts building shit. And it's kind of wild. You can monitor the progress in real time, and it'll even ask you. So say you wanted to, wanted to build a chatbot, and you need OpenAI and you need 11 Labs. At that point in its development, it will come back and ask you to enter your API keys, and then you enter it, and it'll keep going. Yeah, and then it'll actually like ask you to test it, and you can actually deploy it from there. So it's got a couple things here that we can potentially just try to do, or we can prompt it ourselves. I figure we should probably do one of these example ones first, because my guess is it will 100% work, right? Like, and you can at least see the showcase. And then we can try to do something of our own afterwards. What do you think?
Let's do it.
How about landmarks app? Do we like that? Stock
I love
analysis.
I love a good landmark.
You love a good landmark. All right.
Yeah.
How about, okay, so let's do this. We're going to try this prompt. Make an app that displays a map of local landmarks based on the current viewable area of the map. Use Wikipedia to get the landmarks.
I wonder what they define as a landmark.
I don't know. Where do we want to do it? Let's ask.
No,
it
but
for
like,
a
yeah, like what, like, so say you picked,
well, that's what I mean. Let's find out what it describes as a landmark. It's probably
let's
based on Google or Wikipedia, right? So
pick Buffalo, New York.
okay.
Can we use that as
It's
our?
gonna be
I feel
all
like
the
that's
all the Dunkin Donuts.
I feel that's our halfway mark. I feel like it's our halfway mark. How far are you from Buffalo?
I'm like 4 or 5 hours. 5 hours probably.
That's yeah, maybe that's a little bit too long. Maybe it's a little bit closer than that. Because I feel like I'm maybe 3 hours.
Okay, we ready for this? So we're
Yeah,
gonna
let's do
build
it.
a local landmarks
These are the
map.
places we're gonna visit when we meet in Buffalo.
Yeah, it's just gonna be all the Dunkin Donuts, Targets, and Olive Gardens there.
Sounds magical. I'll make
Okay,
sure to
so
get extra insurance for that weekend.
I hit create REPL. So configuring, it's working here. So we're just going to do this in real time. I have no idea what's going to happen. The idea is to show you how it works and see if we could get something to finish here. So you can see it says thinking. So now it's just thinking about our prompt, and we should get back like a full-on plan.
I'm hoping for historical like landmarks, but I do feel like Target, Olive Garden, and Dunkin' Donuts will be the landmarks provided.
Maybe like the first Dunkin' in Buffalo.
Where I live where the first McDonald's in Canada is.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, like that's
Now,
and it has like a little museum and everything too.
You know what we should have tried to do is the first McDonald's in Canada made me think of, well, does your ice cream machine work?
Since we've done the ice cream, I have not. I have an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old. I get ice cream a lot. I have not had an issue getting ice cream since.
Okay, all right. Well, my thought was maybe we should have made this give us a real-time map of the working McDonald's ice cream shops.
I feel like our hard-hitting deep dive into the shenanigans happening at McDonald's solved the crisis.
It might have. We called them out. Okay, so it says here, I've created a plan for a web application that displays a map of local landmarks in Buffalo, New York, using Flask, vanilla JavaScript, and Wikipedia API. The app will show an interactive map where users can see landmarks based on the current map view. Would you like to review the details of this plan? And then so it says, do we want to implement user accounts so you can save your favorite landmarks, add filters? Oh, look at this, Chamber, right up your alley. Add filters for different types of landmarks, e.g. historical, cultural, Dunkin' Donuts. Integrate with other data sources for more comprehensive landmark information, and add route planning. Okay, I kind of like, do you like any of these other features? I think the filter's good.
I agree. Maybe route planning.
I liked route planning too.
Yeah.
Want to go with these and see what happens?
We need to maximize our day together in Buffalo.
That's right. We need to plan the route. Well, I mean, if you had user accounts, you could save your favorite landmarks ahead of time, and we could tweet.
Right? We could tweet them out too, right?
Let's not overload it. I want to see if it actually can build it here for us in real time. All right. So the time on the clock is 4:40 p.m. Eastern. Ready? We're going to approve and start this and see what happens. All right. So now right away, you've gotten put in this little agent environment here, and you've got this pane that says progress. Okay. It's building initial prototype, and now it's creating the main script here.
And what kind of code is this like
Look, Ma, no
HTML?
hands.
I'm not a coder. What is this, Java?
That's HTML. It's using JavaScript, HTML. I don't think it's doing Python.
Okay.
Oh, maybe it is. It's Python. It's main.py. So it's a Python script in there.
There you go.
It's installing Flask to make the app.
Okay. I don't even know what Flask is. What's Flask again?
It's like the application container, essentially.
Okay.
And then no hands. So this is not me doing this, right? So
it's definitely not me doing it either.
Yeah, I couldn't. I couldn't code this fast if I wanted to. Now it's installing stuff. You can see it created these files, installed these things, and now it's running. So
this is unbelievable. This is from a prompt that was what? 3 sentences?
Here we go.
Oh my goodness.
This is
pretty crazy.
Time on the clock, 4:41.
Less than a minute? Maybe a minute?
Less than a minute. All right. It says, can you see a map of Buffalo, New York with markers for local landmarks? Are you able to click on a marker to see the information? So let's see. Yes, this is certainly a map of Buffalo, it looks like.
It does look like Buffalo.
Let's go right to this is a good landmark. McKinley Monument.
There you go. That when you have a little roundabout,
look at that.
Means it's a good monument of some sort.
Look at that. Buffalo, New York, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, it's got that whole description there?
Yeah.
That's thorough.
And I'm guessing this just talks about Buffalo. I wonder if other ones just say Buffalo. Oh, nope. Look, there you go. The Michael J. Dillon Memorial Courthouse. We could go there, Chamber.
All right.
Would you like to go to this parking lot?
Yeah, what's here? In the park?
Oh, the court building. There you go.
Yes. Very official.
You know, I don't see any Olive
What about
something
maybe closer to the water there? Yeah. What about
Buffalo Gaslight Company? Ooh. Okay.
My wife says I'm very good at gaslight stuff. I don't know what it means. But,
let's see. Will it load anything farther away?
We might be in the greater Buffalo area. Maybe it doesn't count there.
Yeah, it might not. But anyway, so the answer to this is
might not take the GBA into account. This is heart of downtown Buffalo, I would say. ZG loves what we're doing here. Planning our first meetup. Taking in all the sights of Buffalo. I believe that's where Jim and Pam got married too.
Buffalo. That's right. Niagara Falls.
Right, which is is more or less the same, right?
Yeah. Okay. So now it says building. So it asked me to test it. I said, yes, I can see the markers and it works when I click on them. Now it says check mark, build the initial prototype. Okay. So that took 1 minute and it took me 2 minutes to decide if it worked. And now it's saying it's adding filters for different types of landmarks now. Interesting. All right. So this is pretty cool. What are your thoughts as this is happening before your very eyes?
I mean, it is unbelievably thorough. Like the thoroughness and the rapidity, like how quick it is unbelievable. Like,
oh yeah, shit. Look, it's up here.
So what can you? So you're obviously on your PC.
Yes.
Can I? This is also there's an app associated with this.
Correct.
So as long as I can, basically, how do I access this?
And this is cloud-based as well. So like this is cloud-based. So like you can access the same project from your phone and PC as well, right? So you just click into one of these, right? So now it created the filters, says, can you see the filter buttons for different types of landmarks? Are you able to click on them and see the landmarks filtered accordingly? All right, so let's check it out. We've got, let's do historical for you. Yeah. Oh, look at that.
There we go. Narrow that down.
Look at that.
What are we dealing with here? Give me an
We are dealing with the Soldiers and Sailors Monument. That sounds pretty good.
Love a good soldier and sailor monument. This is
Uh,
great.
Here's a good question from Shovel. What's the difference between this and Claude artifacts? Great question. So this is agentic. So this goes back to our conversation before about the difference between like something that can write code for you and potentially display it, and an agent that will actually do the tasks for you, right? So like, for example, here, Shovel, if you were using something that required, so this is using the Wikipedia API, you would need to, in Claude Artifacts, go and get a Wikipedia API key, enter your API key, and then it still would not be able to display a working version of this in a Claude artifact for you. Now, this literally went out, got a Wikipedia API key, and it did it all for you. And then the next part of this is it's probably going to deploy it for us if we wanted to on a live website.
That was my next question. Is like,
Yes.
if I didn't have the app, or if I want to share this with somebody, I could deploy it as a website, and then a person could access it.
Totally. Yes. And that's kind of it's part of the magic here, right? It's like you can create this stuff and deploy it very easily. So that's one of the differences. But like,
could you deploy it as like an app, like more than likely probably like a Google app as opposed to like an Apple app, because I feel like it's harder to get those across the finish line?
Somebody was I've seen some examples of mobile applications. I don't know how we would probably have to prompt it to do that.
Right.
But yeah, so like what,
but even as a website, that's fantastic. Like that's a great option.
What's this cultural one? Let's go there. The Erie County Holding Center.
That's where we end. That's where we end the day.
That's where we end the day. Yeah. Well, that's where we get our exercise in. Yes, so we can see this. So let's keep going.
So what are we gonna add here?
So the other thing too, Shovel, here is like this is responding to you and asking for feedback. It also created a plan for us. It added additional features. It's like you can see the progress along the way. It's super fast. It's suggesting the way to build this versus Claude artifacts. You got to tell it a little more. This is like Claude artifacts on steroids. Cursor is kind of like Claude artifacts meets this, but it's like halfway between. It's like a hybrid version of. It's like if you put Claude artifacts on steroids, and then this is like it does the whole thing for you. Now you could stop this and code it yourself, right? Like, or edit it. You've got all the files here. You could go do this any other way you wanted. Route planning feature. Look at this. Now we've got our route. I forgot we asked for that. So now it says route planning up here. We got to end our day at the. The prison.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you see the new route planning panel on the right side of the map. Are you able to select multiple and plan a route between them? So let's filter. What do we want to do here? You want to start at where do we want to be?
Yeah, let's
historic district. That feels right up your alley.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so let's see if we could do plan route. So we have to select. That's what's happening. So you see when we click these, did you see that error it just gave me?
Yes.
Okay, so what you can see now when you click them, they change colors. So let's go here. Now we'll go to the let's go to I don't know, the Curtis building.
The Harlow Curtis building. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. Maybe we'll go, what's this place? I can't see the top of it. So that one's out. I don't know where I'm going. I'm not going. I can't see that one either. But and then let's go here. Let's go here. And then we're going to end our day at the prison. Okay, plan our route. Yeah, look at that. It planned our route between all of these. Isn't that crazy?
Unreal. That's unbelievable. Wow. I wonder what it's using for route plan. Like, I wonder if there's a way to incorporate Waze or like Google Maps.
Well, this is okay. So look, all right, we've gotten to the end of the build. I've completed the plan successfully. The following steps were executed: initial prototype, add filters, add route planning. Was it good or not? Yeah, we're going to say it was good. Feedback sent. So now you can deploy this to production, deploy a stable public version unaffected by the changes you make in the workplace. So we can set up our deployment here, and now here's where you would have to pay for hosting. So it says it's 0.00833 cents per hour.
That's a weird denomination.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. But we don't have to do this part. Well, maybe if we build our own app here next time, we'll deploy it. But but it's done. Like, you could put this live right now onto the internet for the whole world to enjoy in Buffalo, New York.
That's crazy.
What are you thinking? What does it feel
every
like?
Every week you show me something cooler than the last. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's just going to get weirder. Wait till next week. You're going to see these OpenAI drops next week, I'm pretty sure. So at least something is going to happen next week, I think. But thoughts?
Again, like I said, every week it's just something comes out that's more impressive than the last. Again, it just really opens up the opportunity for people that have some time, but that don't have the time to go back and take years and years worth of, schooling to learn how to do these things and make it very usable in the span of, you know what I mean? Like, if somebody like myself wanted to really get involved, the amount of time it's going to take to get up to speed is so minuscule. Like, you're going to be able to do a lot of things very, very quickly. Like, if you committed to like AI stuff, like just creating things using AI starting today, within 30 days from now, you'd be extremely good at making things. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, 100%. Yes. There's a great creator, YouTuber, content creator out there. His name's Riley Brown. If you haven't checked him out, he's very popular. But his whole thing, he got really popular with the AI stuff back when, Midjourney came out, and he was doing a lot of the image generation, things like that. And then he, just in the last 60, 70 days or so, he kind of found this, well, I don't have to know how to code to build stuff. And he started with the ChatGPT and Claude, just copy and pasting errors, and he started building things. And now he's using things like this and Cursor, and he's building full apps in an hour that work and that he's using for his personal life, and he's sharing templates and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's 60 days, man.
That's yeah, like that's
60
crazy.
days of maybe an hour or two of learning and practicing a day. And what's cool is, like, you actually start to learn how to do some of this stuff, or why it's doing things. Like, you can go see this entire progress, right? Like, I could go back and look at what it did and why it did it and all of that kind of stuff, right? So like, if you can almost learn this way as well, which I think is really easy, really interesting. Should we try to start something new really quick?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you have any idea of something that you would want to do?
No freaking clue. Like,
okay.
I'm just getting my bearings after this last demonstration.
Let's do a chat bot.
Okay.
And that uses OpenAI for the LLM and streams voice response. Let's just see if it'll do this. I don't know if it will. What do you think? Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Start building. Let's see what it does. Meanwhile, I should probably get an 11 Labs or OpenAI key here. so I can do that if it asks me to. All right, so it's thinking. Go ahead while
I was going to say this is going to create a chat box with the replies will be in your voice, I'm assuming.
A voice at the very least. I don't know
Okay.
if I'll be able to use mine, but it should be able to use mine. Okay, so here I've created a plan for a web-based chatbot using Flask, Vanilla, OpenAI, and 11 Labs for streaming. The prototype include chat interface, text input, voice output. Will we want to do user authentication? Nah. Add support for multiple voices or languages? Sure. Integrate speech to text for voice. Yeah, that's fun. Let's do these three. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's approve the plan and start. Meanwhile, I'm going to get my API keys ready so we can do this. Let's do.
I think I sent you.
Yeah, I sent you. Send me yours, but I got one.
Okay.
I got one already. And I'll just create a new OpenAI one. All right, so it is building the prototype. It's installing Flask. I'm going to have to delete these API keys after I enter them. Or actually, I'll just take it off the screen when I do it. I don't know. Do you think it's going to be able to do this one?
I have no. Yes.
The first one, I was very confident it would be able to do because it's like in the template. Right. You know what I mean? But we'll see. This is somewhat of a challenge. I feel like chatbot is on easy mode for these things at this point, right? Like everybody.
Yeah, I feel like that's a layup. Yeah.
Yeah. And now, but the voice streaming might be somewhat difficult. I don't know. We'll see. Because like once you start to give it specific things you want it to use and don't let it decide for itself, it might get a little crazy. See, okay, there it's asking me for my OpenAI API key. Do you see that?
Yep.
Okay, so let me get off and paste that in real quick.
Here, while you're doing that, I want to just can I show some real quick? Or are you good?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, one sec. So just want to highlight this. We're doing a giveaway for I think 3 DGen passes, which gives you access to our exclusive DGen Network Discord. All you got to do is sign up for our newsletter. It's in the, you can get a link to it in the show notes. If you visit midmiccrisis.com, it's right on the top right-hand corner. Just click that link. I don't know what the value of it is. So if you already have one, you can always sell it or give it to somebody else. But it does give you access to, in my opinion, some of the best folks in Web3. Great community. There's a few hundred people in there. So yeah, if you're looking at
a few hundred people and you,
and also me. I mean, I'm not there. I'm not there. That might be a highlight for some people. But yeah, if you're just looking for more, AI stuff, if you're looking for more Web3 stuff, there's so many resources in there. So
plus the newsletter is good. All the stuff we're
honestly, the newsletter is fucking really.
I'm excited for Bunchu's bookmarks. I'm gonna just put a segment in there where I just share all the shit I bookmarked all week.
Yeah.
All right. So sign up for the newsletter. Drop a link in the show notes, or what's the URL if they want to just go there now and enter.
It's long. It's best just to go into the show notes. Just click newsletter in the show notes. It's much easier.
All right. Click the show notes. All right. Okay. Back to business here. We've got our chat box. Let's see. Am I going to get a response? Chamber can refer to, okay, so this is working. Okay, so that part works. I can chat with it. Oh, look at this. There's the Made My Crisis podcast. It knows.
It already knows.
It already knows.
We're big. We're big time.
Okay, so it works. Let's see if it'll do the voice part. I don't know if even if it works, I don't know if I'll be able to. You'll be able to hear it over the screen, but we'll
Are
see.
you using the Chrome?
Yeah, so it should.
It should be. Should be.
I didn't receive a voice response, but maybe it's it says it's adding support for multiple voices or languages.
Interesting.
All right. So it should ask me for my 11 Labs API key at some point, but at least the very first thing, we got a chatbot working, which is cool.
That is pretty impressive.
I mean, by doing nothing, we just asked.
Yeah.
Oh. What's happening now? Oh, Rachel. Look, we could select Rachel.
I wonder if it's like 90s Rachel from like Friends.
I wonder if maybe I don't even need an API key because it's going to, can you see the drop down for different voices? And does the chatbot respond with different voices? I can select, but it doesn't respond.
Interesting.
Okay, so I'm going to nudge it and ask it a question. I said, I can select different voices, but I don't get a voice response. Do you need my 11 Labs API key? Let's see what it does. Well, I'm trying to like nudge it. Oh, there you go. Thanks for bringing this to my attention. It seems we're missing it. All right, so let me pull that off the screen really quick and put my key in. We've got, okay. So now I've added that and it's going back to work. It's restarting the app and it's probably going to ask me again. I mean, just thinking here out loud, do we like Domi, Bella, Anthony, or Ellie, or Rachel? Very interesting name choices here.
We should bring Payne up for this portion. See what he thinks.
Yeah, I mean, let's do it.
You know, do 1 minute of Payne. Oh, there he is.
What's up, Payne?
I heard my name, so I had to, perk up. I've been watching this pretty hard. This is fascinating, honestly.
All right, so it's asking me again to. It does not work here. So it lets me select, but now let me type a response and see. I'm using Rachel. Let's see if it makes.
What's the question? Sorry.
What is Mid-Mic Crisis podcast? No, it does not.
No voice.
No voice. Let's try one more time.
Mid-Mic Crisis is a podcast that delves into a variety of subjects,
Can hear
often with a comedic twist. If you're seeking specific information about the podcast, it can be helpful to know that it frequently features discussions on current events.
Bitcoin is a form of digital or cryptocurrency, a decentralized peer-to-peer electronic cash system that allows for online transactions without the need for a central authority like a bank or government.
That's not bad.
It was introduced in 2008 by an anonymous person or group of people using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto through a white paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Key features of Bitcoin include 1.
Is it staticky on your end, Chamber?
It operates on a decentralized network known as the blockchain, which is a distributed ledger maintained by a network of computers or nodes. 2. Blockchain technology.
I don't know how to stop it.
Bitcoin transactions are verified through cryptography and recorded in a public ledger called the blockchain. Each block in this chain contains a batch of transaction records.
There you go. Well,
like how it reads the asterisk.
Yeah. All right. It's not that sophisticated yet.
Pretty good honestly, though, I would say.
Yeah.
With my podcast, I have to do the same thing. I have to make sure that the output is clean like that, or else it won't. It'll read it. It'll read everything. Okay. So now voice input here. So now we should be able to speak to it and tell it what to do. And this will be the last one, and then we've done it. However, I mean, we haven't done anything. We've sat here and shot the shit for an hour, and we've built 2 apps. How crazy! All right, so can you test the voice input? Let's see. It's asking. I click that. It's asking to use my microphone. I'm going to allow. It's recording right now. Tell me a recipe for gabagool salad. Hit it with the callback. Let's see what happens.
That's how you podcast.
That is how you podcast. Okay, so it didn't work. I'll try it one more time. Hi, can you give me a recipe for gabagool salad? Nope. Oh, wait. How about send? Maybe I got to send it. Nope. Okay. I'm just going to type it for my...
Payne, have you ever had gabagool salad before?
I haven't. Is it good?
I don't know.
I only know about it from The Office, so...
That's right.
All right, let's
did
see
he send
here.
Is that the one he sent back?
Yeah, he said if it was not perfect, I send it back. if the salad's on top, I send it back. Okay, so it says here, I've identified the issue with the speech to text and have instructed our team to make necessary changes. We're modifying how we handle audio files, improving the user experience by automatically sending the transcribed text. Please give us a moment. Wow, interesting, weird. That's a weird response, no?
Yeah, we're sending it back to IT.
Yeah, like who? Is it some other agent here? I don't even know. It's editing. Now it's editing the main file. It's restarting. Now it's thinking. All right, well, I know you're on a time constraint, so we'll have to wrap this up in just a second here, Chamber. But overall thoughts here, Payne?
Yeah, let's get Payne's thoughts here. What do you think, man?
It's fascinating. I know last week after the show, me and Bunchu talked a little bit about Cursor. I'm ashamed to say I haven't finished it. I've been using Claude a little bit for some other stuff, but I'm excited to participate in this and experiment with it. Even just watching this and how quick it was, it's insane.
It's pretty crazy. All right, let's try it one more time. How many Dunkin' Donuts are in Buffalo, New York? Oh, it worked! Shit, it worked! Now let's see if it responds.
As of the latest available data, the number of Dunkin' Donuts locations in Buffalo, New York can vary over time due to new openings, closures, or relocations.
Oh, F you. Give me a number.
To get the most accurate and up-to-date information, I recommend checking Dunkin's official store locator on their website or using a mapping service like Google Maps.
Yeah, it's like it should have just said, "Bro, it's Buffalo. There's 1,000."
You'll be good.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Next time, you'll have to add in like a stop button somehow.
Yeah, we should have. Yes, it's working. So this is pretty cool. All right, that is where we'll end it for today. I don't know. This was pretty cool. I'm actually surprised this one worked because I didn't know what to expect doing it kind of on our own outside of the templated things it gave. This was pretty cool. Chamber, scale of 1 to 10. Will you be using this? Are you going to be trying it?
We're going to try it eventually. I don't know when, but we will be trying it.
I just think it's pretty awesome that now you could take a simple concept and make it so pretty quickly, right? And like you can go back and forth with this thing and all of that. So now it implemented conversation history and context retention. Man, we're just on fire here. Pretty cool. All right, that is going to do it today for us. This has been your episode on Replit and some dad talk mixed in. Don't forget, give us a like, a subscribe, sign up for that newsletter to enter the giveaway. And that's going to do it for us. Until next time, keep the mic hot.
What have I done? What have I become? I can't describe this.